My name's Ellie Bell-Jones and I graduated from York Law School in 2013. So what does my career to date look like since leaving York in 2013? I started on a Tesco graduate programme, which was a store management programme. This was a 2-year programme, but I was really fortunate enough to do a number of different roles. I worked in HR as a HR manager. I designed the performance management process across Tesco. I worked as an area manager. I then made the decision to move into the offices, and to do that, I didn't want to relocate, so I moved across to Sainsbury's. I worked in Sainsbury's as a trainer. I worked back in HR, and then a bit of an interesting story. I was interviewing for senior product managers because Sainsbury's had just bought Argos. We were struggling to find the right candidate, and after a few interviews, I actually asked the director, "If I applied for the role, will you interview me?" And he said, "I'll see you on Wednesday." And that's actually my story of moving into tech. I now work in products and tech at Just Eat, and I work globally on the groceries platform of work. The problem-based learning approach at York Law School, which involves taking problems apart, has been really beneficial since I've started my working career. I think of a time where I was working as a senior product manager at Sainsbury's. We'd just bought Argos. We had 2 different technology platforms, and I used the problem-based learning approach with my peers to help us find a solution to enable our colleagues to work effectively across the business. I remember sitting in rooms with colleagues, very similar to when we were doing problem-based learning at York. I remember mind mapping a problem, looking at the different outcomes that we wanted to achieve, the different solutions that would deliver on that outcome. And then we divided and conquered. We broke the problem down, we all went off and analysed the problem in more detail, coming back together to agree on a final solution. And that was all some of the great learning that I experienced at York Law School. Skills modules at York University have really helped me in my working career, particularly the skills around interviewing and negotiating. The interviewing skills have ensured that I've been able to recruit some of the best talent, particularly at Just Eat, where I've got my own team. And when I look at some of the negotiation skills, they've helped me negotiate with some really difficult stakeholders to achieve great outcomes. I really like the approach of problem-based learning at York Law School. I've learned so many great skills, particularly around collaboration, that have really helped me excel in my career. I really stand by the quote, "The whole is greater than the sum of the parts." We can achieve so much more when we're working together, and the problem-based learning approach here enables us to have a voice, share our ideas, and achieve great outcomes together.